And haters, it's your least favorite duelist here, back with another video. Sorry for the lighting. It's a little bit dark outside today. But I just want to do a quick review of the new character that came out for the Dark Side Dimensions, Yugi. I personally think Yugi is a great addition to the game. He's an add-on of the original Yugi from Duel Monsters. As you can see, I've already been working away at leveling him up, and I just want to share my opinions and thoughts on him. So overall, if you just want a quick opinion, I think he's a great character to level up. He finishes out a lot of the things that Yugi in Duel Monsters has, which has like the beta, the electromagnetic warrior. You get 2 more out of leveling him, which is insane. So you can probably start running those magnet decks a little bit more, which is awesome. And then one of the other big adds is you get 2 more Vandalgons, the Dark Dragon Lord. So if you're not familiar with this card here, what he does is if you negate the activation of a spell, trap, or monster effect, he does something. So if you negate a spell, you burn them for 1500, which is pretty insane in Duel Links. That's like a third of their health gone. If you negate a trap, you can blow up 1 card, and if you negate a monster, you can special summon a monster, which is awesome. And he's a big old 2800 big boy, so that's great. The other thing that you get is Tackle Crusader, which if you send this card to the graveyard, you can flip a monster face down, or you can send a face up spell card back to the hand and they can't activate it, which is pretty good. So with like Doki Doki and or just like getting this card destroyed, it can be pretty disruptive. So that's pretty much it for the monster cards that you get added on. Oh, actually this one too, Sentry Soldier of Stone. So it's a level 3 rock. If you control rock monsters, you can special summon this card out of the graveyard once per turn, which is pretty good. So you can make a lot of plays with this card. It being level 3 is pretty relevant too. I'm going to be experimenting with like a level 3 deck, see if I can get that going. Other than that, we're going to go into his abilities real quick. Oh, actually, and then there's this card too, Dig of Destiny. So if you take battle damage, you can draw a card. If this card is destroyed, you can draw cards equal to the number of Dig of Destinies. So that's pretty cool too. You can get like a draw 3 or even 4 off of this, potentially. If you like chain this card to it getting destroyed. So that's pretty good. Alright, on to his abilities. So we'll start off with Warrior Sacrifice. I don't think this one's very good, but if you have less life points than your opponent and control no cards, you can select 1 monster your opponent controls and send a Silent Swordsman from your hand to the graveyard, and then that monster loses attack equal to the Silent Swordsman's attack. It's a whatever ability. I don't think it's that great, but yeah, I mean, it has applications here and there. This is very interesting. This is a only available in tag duels. So at the beginning of your first turn, you can place a Spiritual Swords of Revealing Light. So it says once per attack, when your opponent's monster declares an attack, you pay 1,000 life points, negate that attack. During your opponent's turn, you can banish this card from your graveyard. This turn, your opponent's monsters cannot attack directly. So it's pretty good. It's only in tag duels, which kind of tells me maybe down the line, maybe we'll get like a tag duel, like PvP thing. Hopefully, that'd be pretty nice. Next one, Spiral Spear Strike. So it says can only be used if you control a Gaia the Fierce Knight monster with 2300 attack or more, or Gaia the Dragon Champion. Play 1 Spiral Spear Strike from outside your deck. This can only be used once per duel. Now, Spiral Spear Strike is pretty powerful, and having access to it at any time if you have a Gaia is pretty cool. So pretty much what it does is you can do piercing damage with your Gaias, and then if you have a Gaia the Dragon if you have a Gaia that gosh, it's so early. But if you do piercing damage with Gaia, You can draw 2 cards and then discard 1, but that's only with Gaia the Dragon Champion. So that's this one, and then there's also like Charging Gaia the Dragon Champion that does the same thing. Except that when Gaia the Swift Dragon Champion, I forgot what the other name is, but the other fusion, you can switch things to defense mode when you swing into them. So that enables your Spiral Spear Strike. What a tongue twister. Next one is another interesting one. This is called Spell Counter Boost. So you can reveal 2 spell cards in your hand and then place a spell counter on something that can take a spell counter. And this is once per turn, twice per duel. I've been experimenting with this ability right now in spell books and Endymion. So I'm trying to get like the ratios out right now, but I think this ability is really good as well. This allows you to go and add stuff onto like Power of the Guardians. You can also use it on your Citadel Endymion, your Spellbook, Star Hall. There's a lot of applications. Tongue twisters today. Okay, so this one's Centrification. You turn all your Giant Soldier of Stones in your graveyard into Sentry Soldiers. So this one is kind of like a funny one. You have to play Giant Soldier. He's a 2000 defense guy. And it turns it into a Sentry Soldier, which, like I said before, has some applications to keep coming out of the graveyard and for some plays. Maybe for Block Dragon, I don't know. It'll have to be experimented with. This one's my monster cards. A bunch of characters already have it, so if you have 6 or more level 4 lower monsters, you have a better chance of drawing some level 4 monsters. Life Charge, Karibo Morph is another new one. So you select one Karibo monster in your hand or on your side of the field, and then you turn it into either Karibo, Sphere Karibo, Relink Karibo, or Claire Karibo, which is, I believe, a new one. So it says here, during either player's turn, when your opponent activates a monster effect that would inflict damage, you can discard this card and negate the activation. And then when your opponent's monster declares a direct attack, you can banish this card from the graveyard and draw 1 card. Then if it's a monster, you can special summon it, then change the attack target to it. And then you also get Relink Rebo, and you can turn it into Sphere Karibo, like I said. So that's pretty alright. And then we also have Gathering of Disciples. So it says you can only use this by revealing a Dark Magician. You add a Dark Magician Girl to the bottom of your deck. And then if you have 2,500 or fewer life points, you can add the Dark Magician Girl to your hand instead. So that's pretty... There's some cool things that you can maybe do with this ability here. You can, like, probably with the Dark Magician deck, using this, and then you can go and use your navigation to bring the Dark Magician Girl out. There's some Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl spells that are used together, so there's some, like, OTK potential here. There's a bunch of really cool things. I'm gonna skip, Defense Charge, a normal one. You just gain 200 defense for each of the turn counts. We also have Dark Horizon. So if you take 2,000 or more damage, you can use this skill on your next turn. You play 1 Dark Magician Girl from your deck. If you took 2,500 or more damage from your previous turn, you can play 1 Dark Magician from your deck instead. This one I think is pretty handy too, for Dark Magicians. The fact that you bring out Dark Magician with an ability means that your opponent cannot respond to it. So if you have something like Thousand Knives or Dark Magic Attack, they have to respond only to that, and they can't respond to the summoning of Dark Magician. I'm pretty sure also by using this ability your Magical Circle won't trigger, which is unfortunate. But just getting the Dark Magician out pretty easily is like pretty handy, I gotta say. The next one, Contract Door. I think this ability is really interesting as well. So it says you can use this at 2,000 life points or below. You add a magical Contract Door to your hand from outside of your deck, and then you add 1 Monster Reborn to your opponent's hand. And so what Magical Contract Door does is you add a spell card from your hand, add 1 spell card from your hand to your opponent's hand. then add one level 7 or 8 monster from your deck to your hand. I'm imagining that this steals the spell card. It says add one spell card from your hand to your opponent's hand. Maybe it's not as good as I thought. It depends. If this allows you to add a card from... Oh, it's from your hand to your opponent's. So you give your opponent a spell card. Maybe it's not that good, because you're also giving them a monster reborn. It's like a worse surprise present, I guess. Because I don't see the point of actually adding... This one is like Search Dark Magician, but you have navigation, which is so much better. But maybe in some really like fringe situations, this could be meme worthy. And then we also have Born from the Earth. So if you control a Dark Magician and your life points are at 2,000 or below, you place a Metal Morph Fortress face down on your side of the field. If your opponent controls a Dragon type monster with 3,000 attack or more, you can use this skill regardless of your life points. And this can only be used once per duel. So what Metal Morph Fortress does is you target a level 4 or higher monster you control. You special summon this card. You equip that monster to this card. And then it gains the attack. It gains attack and defense equal to the attack of the monster equipped by it. Also, if it attacks, change it to defense position at the end of the damage step. So whatever you equip this to, this monster is gonna gain that monster's attack plus 1,000, because this is 1,000 attack and defense. So that's another, like, I mean, it's handy in certain situations, like if you need to beat over something. Some monsters and Duel Links get really, really big. You know, like Blue Eyes, you have Saber Dancer. So this is a way to kind of get over those things. Overall, I think this character is really, really good. Outside of like it having, he has like really weird fringe abilities. I think the Spiral Spear Strike is pretty... I think it's going to be pretty good. The only thing is how good is Gaia going to be? But I think you can... There's ways to pull this off. I'm thinking of maybe running something like a Red Eye / Gaia deck once I unlock this ability. The other one that's really good too is which one? The Spell Counter Boost. But I think this character is really something people should consider leveling if you like playing magnets, or if you like playing Endymion or like spell books. This ability here is pretty handy. And then I was also thinking of other things like it's like the white, red, blue magicians that need counters to do certain things. So there's that as well. So yeah, be on the lookout for more content with Mr. Yugi Moto, because I think he's a really good character. But like I said, it's my opinion though. I am just like spam leveling him right now. It took me a while to get this video out because like I had a couple recording issues, and I decided to just like level up over everything else. But there you go. Yugi Moto, I think it's a great ad, great abilities, great cards in here, in my opinion. So hopefully you guys go out there and level them up, and I'll see you on the next video.